What's poppin', everyone? Welcome to another episode of Remember When. My name is Jose. With me today are my boys Amir and Johnny. Say what's up, guys.
Yo, man.
What's up, y'all?
How y'all doing?
Oh, actually enjoying life, man.
Enjoying life?
Yeah.
It ain't bad?
No, I've been actually pretty consistent with the gym recently. So like I've been happy with that because like I'm not gonna lie, for like a good like past like year, wishy-washy, like I'll be like, yeah, I'm on top. Then I'm like, And then I'm like, yeah, oh no, I'm sick. You know, like, yeah. You know, it's very like stop and go kind of thing, but like it's been like super consistent, which I'm pretty happy about. I've changed up my morning routine. I get up at 5 a.m. every day now, bro.
Every single day?
Every single day.
God damn.
Bro.
You better man than me, man.
Bro,
better man than me.
Bro, I hop out of bed and like turn my swag on. I'm like, I was like, that's an opportunity.
The only time I've done something similar was when you and Chris kept doing those 4 a.m. runs and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
JUTF, man.
Yeah,
JUTF.
I remember seeing a snap. I'm like, fuck. Now I feel like I got to get up.
It's actually crazy. I've been hitting up like Chris, so we're trying to like talk regularly, like at least once a week is what we're trying to aim for, like just to hold me like accountable for like my goals and stuff like that. So like I'm being serious when I say like things are actually going good. I've been like changing my mindset, my habits, even eating better, man. Like I've been cooking, like not just like, you know, metaphorically, but like literally cooking, bro, which is crazy because normally I'm like, ooh, what's mama making for dinner? Instead, I'm like, take a back seat. I'm cooking this shit up tonight.
Yeah, mac and cheese, mama.
Yeah. I'm like, let's put this shit in the oven for 5 minutes.
Crafting chicken tendies.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm going to put ketchup on it.
Yeah.
Get Jose spice on it.
Like, I call this sriracha tenders. Little red pepper flakes.
Salt, base, some oregano.
Like, what we doing tonight? We're flambeing. You don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't.
Burgers. Tomorrow, burgers.
From Burger King.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm not. No.
They're going to be like, you cooking tonight? Yeah, where we ordering out at? Oh, shut up.
I'm superseding. Hell
Not
no.
just from Burger King. Yeah,
Not from Burger King.
Diarrhea-ass burgers.
Ugh.
They literally do.
But yeah, been hella consistent, which I'm pretty happy about. Like, you know, do you guys have a routine of your own?
I'm trying to develop one now because back in college, I remember I had that really good routine. I would get up at 8 every day, not even just from the alarm. I would just get up naturally. Like when your body has your own internal clock to wake up upon, that feels the best because it's like I don't need to put myself on an alarm. That's how it was back in college, and I wish I had that right now. Now it's just more like, how am I feeling? I wake up. Do I feel like dying? Let me stay in bed for like the next hour. Then let me get back up. But I was only get back into it, like trying to work out, because working out is probably like the best thing. Like usually I try to do like every other day. That's a good consistent schedule because gets me rest day, lets me get right back up. Even though I'm hurting, get back right into it. Because I know I could do it.
For sure. I've been making it my my physical goal. I'm trying to do like 10 controlled like toe taps, like bring the toe to bar. Because right now I can do like 3 like super under control, like I'm like steady the whole fucking time. By number 4, I'm like shaking hard as fuck to get it up there. So my goal is like doing 10 of those. Because I do want to try to get into like by the end of the summer, my goal is to like to start calisthenics. Nice. I want to like try getting into that. Even though I'd be watching some of those like videos being like, oh, here's how you progress. They're already starting at stage 10. And I'm like, holy fuck. Yeah, they'll be like holding L shape. And I'm like, holy shit. Back up, bro. Back up. I'm like,
what's wrong with the 20 dips? Like,
yeah.
Like, let me do 5 first. Like, what?
All right, yeah. They're like, step 1, defy gravity. I'm like, oh, whoa. Calm down.
Step 1, have upper body balance. My biggest thing is those handstand push-ups, honestly. Like with a wall, like it's definitely doable, but I used to do the early morning 2-mile run, and then I do like just straight up calisthenics, like push-ups, pull-ups, all the versions of the push-ups, any type of leg work. So like squats, lunges, blah, blah, blah. You know, I need to get back into it. It's just when there's grad school or like, you know, anytime work or life just starts happening, that's when I fall back so hard.
Depression.
Yeah.
And then depression hits.
But the only way to beat depression is to work out. But when the depression overtakes the want, then it's like, damn, what are you supposed to do? Cry? No, you gotta get back into it, man. You gotta get back into it.
While you're crying.
Yeah, while you're crying. I don't give a fuck. Man, I don't care if your mama died. Get back into working out, bro.
The depression goes straight to your thighs. And then you blow up.
That's facts, bro.
But we're talking about a different workout today. A workout of the mind, some cartoon theories.
Yeah. So tell you, what?
Shit you never thought of. You never would have ever expected.
Or some that you very much thought of because some of them, they aren't that creative.
Yeah, some of them can be pretty creepy, maybe pretty cool if you're 5.
Maybe you have a bad outlook on life and everybody's dead in your eyes.
Yeah.
Everybody in every show ever in every universe.
People never existed. Mental illness.
It's actually all a representation of something else. The Bible. 7 deadly sins.
These nuts.
The show is actually purgatory.
It's an allegory for the Nazi Germany. Cartoon theories, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't play more cartoons when we were reading Dante's Inferno in high school.
Serious.
Yes, that's what every cartoon theory says. Is that there's 9 layers. You're watching season 1, layer 4.
Oh, there's theories on Dante's Inferno.
And that itself is a giant fanfic. So I was
right. I'll be like, what are we talking about?
This story is real good. Also, it was written by a bitter-ass old man
who hated the Vatican.
I remember there was some guy he had posted online. He was like, dude, I think the creator of The Boys is really anti-hero. He doesn't really like heroes. I was like, he never liked heroes. That was the whole point of The Boys. That's not a theory.
It's not a theory. You read the comics and you can immediately see, the way he treats out every one of the heroes, and I mean every one of them, are horrible. There's not a single good hero ever. Either they want to fuck something or they're pedophiles. Certified pedophile.
A minor.
There you go. Y'all just got the Sparks Notes version of The Boys, so you're welcome.
The comic boys.
The comic boys.
The TV show's way better. Way better.
Thank God they didn't write that shit in.
Yeah. Eating babies and shit.
But yeah, so we're talking about cartoon theories today. We're going to rattle off some of our favorites, some of our least favorites, some of the ones that just make us go what are we talking about right now? Why, who thought of this? Why are we stretching for this? But I'll kick us off. So that's a very simple one, not too crazy of a stretch. So I would say a 2 out of 5. I'll give it 2 out of 5 theory, right? Is that in Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Doofenshmirtz is Phineas's real dad.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And I kind of like that one because Doofenshmirtz and Phineas's mom had a little bit of history together, and you don't actually get to see Phineas's real dad. He's a genius. Who else is a genius? Doofenshmirtz, right? So who knows? He might have inherited from his dad. And also, I do like it's Perry the Platypus. They had said that Perry the Platypus is trying to prevent father from meeting son. That I think is a bit of a stretch. That's why I had to lower the ranking a little bit. I was like, oh, it's a 3. No, it's not. It's not quite there because I was like, I'm pretty sure they've met a few times. So I'm like, well, then he's dog shit at his job as an agent. But yeah, so a decent one. I see it. I think it's not too far-fetched.
I thought you were about to say Perry the Platypus is Phineas's dad. I was like,
Perry is the dad. Okay,
what?
So he got transformed in one of Phineas's experiments. And to protect his son every single day, he goes, yo, what does that sound?
You can't do that.
Rev up your engines.
No. Stop. Such that. That was nasty.
I apologize for our headphone listeners.
Sorry, that got that got a little out of hand. But anyway, so
remember
Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Phineas's dad. I think 2 out of 5. Yeah. I think that's reasonable, right? That's 2 out of 5 theory.
That's reasonable. I remember seeing it. They had a Star Wars special where they were literally just parroting Star Wars. And there was a part where Phineas was like, or Ken's like, so what about dad? Funny thing about dad. Just, the whole Death Star blew up or some shit before you can say anything about it.
Isn't that the episode with the guy Meep? With that little alien.
Me.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of when you said that episode. I was like, me.
Give him a mustache. She starts, hey, thank you, gentlemen.
I gotta go rewatch this episode after this. All right, John, you want to hit us off with another theory?
Okay, I mean, I'm just going to say straight up, a lot of these theories are dog shit. So here's the thing. I remember back in like 2012, 2013, even back in like 2010, I would love cartoon theories. It was something you would just research, especially as a kid. You'd think of these and you're like, whoa, so these guys are in purgatory or they represent something devilish. Oh, this guy's actually something related to the devil. It's like, damn, this is badass. But then you realize you grow up here like, what the fuck is this? Like, bro, half of these are the same exact fucking theory. It's like, oh, yo. So I'll bring up the one that I loved back in the day, the Ed and Eddy purgatory theory, where like all the kids are just forever trapped in purgatory, and they all represent like what happened when they died. So like Eddie was a greedy, he was a scam artist, and he grew up in the 1930s during the Great Depression, so he was running a bunch of scams. Then he got ran to the river and then he died. Rolf was in the 1900s and he was a farmer, but then he got stampeded by like his own animals or some shit. So, like what was it called? Ed. So Double D. He got put in a chemistry, it was like chemistry experiment, and then he got exploded. Like it just exploded and everything went wrong. And Kevin was killed by his abusive step parents. So very depressing. Like it's a very depressing ass theory.
It was like Rolf working on a farm and had died somewhere on the farm, and then brought a piece of wood with him. Yeah,
he got stampeded. By his family and shit. It's the most like, I remember at the time I was like, damn, that makes sense. You never see their parents. You never see anybody. There's nobody around, but that's a lie because you see Eddie's dad's hand. So yeah, his dad is there. You also see Eddie's brother, and the fact that Eddie got grounded. I remember you mentioned that. Yeah, Eddie got grounded and they took his whole stairs away. So there's definitely other people there. So the theory is like straight up just discounted. But at the time I thought it was cool, but it's a horrible precedent because, like, bro, this theory spawned, like, I feel like, and there's probably theories from beforehand. Every theory is, I swear to God, it's all in their brain. No, these characters aren't alive. They're dead. And in fact, they are ghosts. This whole show doesn't matter. You're essentially trying to tell me this whole show doesn't matter.
That's literally, I remember seeing that for like Kids Next Door. They were like, oh, they're all in a coma and they're just like fantasizing about their adventures. I'm like, that's probably true. I was like, that's not even like a good theory. I was like, that didn't provoke my brain. I would have been like, all right, sure, whatever. You know, like it doesn't change anything at all. Usually like a theory, like it has some merit to it. No, those ones don't have any merit. It's like, oh, okay, whoa, they're ghosts. Wow.
Ooh,
oh my God.
Whoa, they're dead the entire time.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. It's like, that's the only thing I liked when I was back in the day. But now I'm like, nah, half of these theories are stupid. They pull so far from the ass, bro. They trying to reach the colon. Like they try to reach so far. And it's like, where are y'all getting these from? Like, or like half of these facts. It'd be like, Kevin died from these abusive step parents. Where'd you get that from? Like, how did y'all get that conclusion?
I didn't realize Rolf had an episode where he got Lion King'd either. So that's where I'm just sitting here like, where the hell are you getting this? When was Ed in the Great Depression? What? Yeah, Eddie, whatever the fuck. I like, I mean, Teen Titans is always close to us, but I think one of the things, like, pre the last episode was that Tara got cloned. Similar to how Slade always had them robots, similar to like Dr. Doom, where he just pull up and you're like, oh shit, Slade's getting his ass beat. And then Robin like smacks him in the face and it's just a robot. But in that last episode, you saw Tara as like a schoolgirl and she didn't know Beast Boy at all. So I thought it was like into that theory that he had cloned her multiple times when he had controlled her in that end. And because she almost damn near killed everybody, if you had multiple Taras that just lost their shit or you fully controlled them, that's OP. You basically got earthquake makers on a massive scale. What was the other one? Invader Zim was to motivate Cold War theories and thoughts. You know how it was like, oh, you report your neighbor like they're a communist.
Oh, yeah.
And Invader Zim, the whole idea was him living in the community and nobody believes that he's like this alien, but in reality, the danger is right living among us. And then you have like this crazy scientist and crazy kids that's like, oh, there's a danger right next door. Like they're gonna take over the world.
I give that one like a 3 out of 5 because like I see it. I do see that one. Like that makes sense to me. The Terror, I give that a 4 out of 5 because like that has ground. And you see, that's examples of good theories. Good theories are like, who was Red X in Teen Titans? Who is Robin? Is he Dick Grayson? Is he Tim Drake? Like those are good
heard
theories.
It was like Red Hood for the Red X. I like that theory.
You see those are good cartoon theories. I mean, but they're also like nerd superheroes.
Yeah,
so
for
like
sure.
they kind of branch off a little bit, but that's what a good theory is. Like it's based off of some ground where it's like, oh, that actually might be true.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I'll hit y'all with a 5 out of 5 theory. I know for a fact you've heard this one. Mrs. Puff is not actually Mrs. Puff. You know that she stole the identity of Mrs. Puff? Have you guys not heard this?
Yeah, because
I've never heard this one.
Really?
I've never heard this one.
Oh, okay. So I forgot the actual guy's name. I think his name is Alex. You could Google this, or you can go on YouTube and check this out. It's a really, really good video. It's literally like 20 million views. Like it's actually pretty legit. But anyways, he like breaks down every single episode with Mrs. Puff and shows that, or basically proves that Mrs. Puff in her past life, so she currently has the identity of a person named Mrs. Puff, but we don't know who she actually is. But who she actually is some maniac that would like basically a thief, and she would like rob and steal stuff at New Kelp City is what it was, right? And she would use balloon animals as disguises, which we saw in the one episode of SpongeBob when she like went into the boatmobile and she had put on her ski mask and was like, I'm not sure if I remember how to do this. Blew up a balloon animal and tossed it. But and the reason why his whole theory came together is because there's this one like screen grab from an episode in season 12 of SpongeBob where SpongeBob is telling Miss Puff to like clear out the boating house. And it's a newspaper and it literally has a picture of Mrs. Puff, but she had done like a flashback at one point to the like basically SpongeBob or Bikini Bottom is like being destroyed, but the fish announcer actually had hair in it. So they were like, it's actually a flashback. And that this was back in her days when she actually fucked up the first time with a different boating student and gave him a license preemptively. So he ended up wreaking havoc and she got blamed for it and she felt guilty. So she had to run away and start a new life. And it's like a crazy theory, but it actually has so much ground, so much merit. And the show only supports it. Like every single like episode she's in, I'm like, damn, that's a good theory.
That's a good theory.
Yeah. I highly recommend y'all go check that one out because it has so much merit. It's actually ridiculous. Like I'm pretty confident that it's like all intentional at this point. I'm fully confident that's all intentional.
Yeah. I can see that. A lot of the theories I saw about Mrs. Puff was stupid. It'd be like, yo, Mrs. Puff actually, this is her. What we saw was like, it's like her purgatory, or like she's tortured and has to teach SpongeBob for eternally as her eternal punishment from like God.
Oh, okay. Not, you see, I don't know about all that. But in the dude's theory, right? So he puzzles all this crazy shit together, right? So so Mrs. Puff, right? In the one episode, SpongeBob comes up and he's like doing like visiting hours. And he's like, hey, the warden said that you can get out if you do free boating lessons or whatnot, right? And this dude makes this crazy ass connection. The dude that is the warden also was in the episode where Mr. Krabs and Mrs. Puff were going to court. And he was also in the same episode as Mrs. Puff's in the one episode with New Kelp City, he was like in the background. He's like, so he knows Mrs. Puff from past life. And because that guy that she gave the license to, he fucked up some family member of his. And there's this like random painting in Mrs. Puff's house at one point. And like we can identify every single person except for one dude. He's like, notice how he has a bow tie, huh? He's like, just like the warden. Bro, it's insane how well his theory works out. I'm like, damn. That's actually crazy. But yeah, basically at the end of his theory, he's saying that the warden is responsible for Mrs. Puff's hell being like, okay, well, since you enjoy prison a little too much, you're not going to leave it. Instead, you're going to have to teach SpongeBob for the rest of your life. And yeah, so like it kind of feeds into that like her permanent purgatory kind of thing. But yeah, it's insane, bro. It's an insane theory.
That's a nice one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That's the best one we've heard so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm telling you, I think that's 5 out of 5. 100%, because this man actually like brick by brick builds it out.
I believe it. The moment she was like, oh, let me see if I remember how to do this, I was like, huh?
Yeah. Or remember when she was like, I can't go back. Not again. How about you, John? Do you have another one that interested you at all, or not really?
I'm going back to SpongeBob. The only ones that, from my research, that I was able to find that didn't piss me off were like the SpongeBob atomic theory, like atomic bomb theory, or like nuclear theory. Yeah, because like there was like a whole U.S. government testing where they test nuclear bombs in a place called Bikini Atoll.
Yeah, Bikini Atoll.
Yeah, so they tested out there, so they're like, oh, this is what the result of the radiation was. We got talking fish. And then, wait, what about Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy? These guys are the only humans that are in the whole sea. Think about it. With Man Ray 2, where do they come from? Radiation. Maybe they're able to talk to these fish and they'd be able to breathe underwater. That's why he exists. That could be why. That's the only one I got. That's only 5 out of 5 theory I can get. Not even 5 out of 5. That's like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because they actually do a really good job piecing all that stuff together, and it actually like has some ground to it.
That's a theory that didn't piss me off, where it wasn't like some representation bullshit. It's like, yo, SpongeBob is actually like the representation of like pride or some shit. I like Squidward's the representation of wrath. Like, no.
Oh, yeah, I did see the 7 Deadly Sins for SpongeBob. I was like, get out of my face.
Bro, why was that one of like the first few ones? It's like everything about SpongeBob, it always be about like, yo, these guys are actually like representations of some shit. It's like, bro, what are y'all talking about? Y'all reaching so far. Y'all trying to find some connection. Next thing you're going to tell me is like, they're the horsemen of the apocalypse. We got, I don't know, like pestilence for plankton. It's like, I don't know, you could talk about something else. Like, you don't got to make Bible connections.
You know what was one that I saw?
What?
That Ozzy and Drix was an attempt for Big Pharma to start having people take vitamins and start buying more medication whenever they get sick.
You see, I mean, that 100% makes sense to me.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, let my body naturally fight it off. And because you had like a physical representation of your body struggling to fight, it's like, oh, damn, well, I hate being sick. And I usually don't take medication. I don't want to pay money for it. But the moment, you know, it was Drix that was the pill. Correct?
Yeah, Drix was the pill.
But the moment Drix pulled up, man was shooting shit, getting rid of all the germs in the back, to whatever the hell was causing the issue. So they were like, oh, fuck it. Maybe I should take my Flintstone vitamins.
You see, I really like the one that you brought up. This was many episodes ago about the Samurai Jack and Professor Theory. Mm-hmm. That one, well, here's the thing. It's sadly a 1 out of 10 because like the creators literally were just like, nah, that's not.
Yeah, when they finalized the series.
Yeah, he was like, nah, cut that shit out, fam.
The one was like Samurai Jack and Johnny Bravo.
Bro, that'd be hard if at the end he just... I don't know, like went off into the... I'm just saying, like imagine he finally kills Aku and Aku's like, nigga, fuck you, and like teleports him right over to the Powerpuff Girls world and he's like, oh damn, I gotta get with the times.
No, I really like, so the one theory was that, so yeah, the professor, he's a descendant of Jack, right? So he inherits Jack's sword. And because there's a little bit of Aku's blood on it, they said he had used that to help make Chemical X, right? And so when the Chemical X batch broke, right, the Powerpuff Girls were made, but they said that it in turn also like reawoken Aku. And then Aku was just like, nah, I don't like this Powerpuff Girl shit one bit, right? So he transported Jack into the future so that way he wouldn't have a descendants, which would result in the Powerpuff Girls.
Indeed, and him is a descendant of Aku.
You see, that's what I was waiting for in the theory. I was like, where does him come into play? Him needs to come into play.
He's the only person I can see where it's like, oh yeah, he has like godlike powers and he's just evil for no fucking reason.
But yeah, so Chemical X equals Aku.
Which made those wonderful little girls. Yes. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. Combined with Aku makes Powerpuff Girls.
Could you imagine a team up between the Scotsman and Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack? Like, that would be insane.
I don't think you need the Scotsman.
No, I want him, bro. He's so fucking funny. That dude,
he's funny.
He makes any episode better.
Are Powerpuff Girls bulletproof?
Yes.
They can be.
They actually are.
Okay, then they
got shot at, and they're like, why do we guys always got to do this the hard way?
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because if so, then, yeah, you really don't need the Scotsman.
I love the older version of the Scotsman. When he had like the Gatling gun.
The Gatling gun?
Nah, just bring his daughters.
Yo, yeah, just like
bring his daughters.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, make shows about every one of them.
They all get their own series.
So I saw there was a these are okay-ish ones for Danny Fam. Like one is like a 3 out of 2, and then the other one is probably either 2 or 3, right? here's the thing. There's not many 4 or 5s. But anyways, the one was that Timmy Turner does become Danny Phantom. That I think it was the one episode where I think it was called literally Breaking the Rules, where they like find out that Timmy had like wished that he was like young forever or some shit like that, right? So they were saying that to counter that, he said, okay, well, I wish I could be somebody else. And then they transferred basically their world into Danny Phantom. And there's like some parallels that like, I'm like, okay, I can actually kind of see this, right? So Dash, he would be Chester. I was like, okay, the blonde hair, I get it. AJ would become Tucker. I was like, okay, I kind of see that. Yeah, smart guys, right? Tootie would become Sam. I was like, that's a little bit of a stretch, but you know, yeah. I see it. Like it was more so like the color pattern is what they were looking at. This one went crazy. Trixie being Paulina. I was like, they actually like kind of look the same. I was like, I see that one, right? But besides that, I was like, there's not a whole lot else to it. I was like, I guess they kind of look similar, but that's because they're made by the same fucking people, by Butch Hartman. Yeah. So I'm like, that's the only reason you're even saying
it's
that.
The same style.
Yeah, it's the same exact style. So I'm like, that's the only reason you're saying that. Yeah.
You know what that reminded me of? Ben 10, when he had unlocked Alien X and he got like those 3 talking heads or whatever, like the council that allows him to do Alien X decisions, he didn't pass. Like, they just absorbed and took away his powers and they put him in eternal bliss, basically.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't want a little kid having Alien X capabilities.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't want that either. If the Great Tribunal was like, nah, like...
Yeah, exactly. That's the greatest parallel I could think of.
The other one for Danny Phantom is that Vlad Plasmius is Danny's real dad. I don't know why y'all theorists... love to point out that like somebody is somebody else's dad. Like, why you gotta change like lineage so much? So many people refuse to believe. No, like, no, that's not their real parents. Nah, their dad is somebody else. Nah, that's not their mom. That's not their mom. I don't know why y'all really enjoy doing that, but it's kind of fucking weird. Anyways, that they were saying that Vlad might be Danny's real father because there was like a flashback one episode where they were fighting and his mom would just leave the house. And they're like, now, did she go back to Vlad's place? Did they have a wild night? Yeah, no, I shit you not. And I'm like, all right, we're getting a little creative here. We're taking some creative liberties.
He went off screen for 2 seconds. He was fucking Danny's mom.
But then they cut to one where he was like, that would explain all the condescending, don't worry, son. And I was like, or maybe he's just being condescending. I was like, that's also a possibility that he's just like, yeah, or like that's just a generic old guy being like, hey, son, you know? I was like, that doesn't warrant a whole lot. They were like, why else would he invite only Danny and his mom over to his place? I was like, I don't know, to make his mom happy and to fucking smash. I was like, probably. Yeah, so that's why, like, again, like, I get what they're saying, but at the same time, like, you're kind of stretching shit out a bit.
The more I talk about these theories piss me off. Like, there's a couple I like. Frankie and Madam Foster, how Frankie is actually the imaginary friend.
I did like that one. That's a 4 out of 5.
I could see that. I actually really like that one. That could, because, you know, the blending between like what's a human and what's an imaginary friend can kind of, you know, you can see a little blurred lines here and there. Like maybe it's actually true. I can see that one.
What if it was reversed?
I can see that actually being a thing too, but actually no, I do. I can't. Your theory sucks.
How?
1 out of 10.
How? Madam Foster's been there forever. Ain't no way Frankie just came
That's
up.
how she's in tune with all the Fosters' home for imaginary friends.
The OG.
She is the OG. She's the only human in that house. Mac is imaginary.
Did she have an imaginary friend?
I thought that's what Mr. Herman was.
Yeah, Mr.
Herman. Yeah. Okay, facts.
The only other thing, Toy Story 3 is an allegory for the Holocaust.
When I saw that one, I was like, get the fuck out of my face.
Well, no, think about it. They were misplaced from their home, and then they thought they were going to see their protectors, like their new protectors, but then they ended up going, they were not the protectors. They were actually going to kill them. And then they went into the furnace. That's fucked up.
That ending crazy.
That's really the only reason why they even make the connection. It's like they're about to burn in the furnace, just like the Jews in the Holocaust. What? What?
That'd be like me comparing it to like a turkey on Thanksgiving. Like, this shit about burn. You know, like, what?
This turkey's burning in the oven, just like the Jews on 1945. What are you talking about?
Connected. Like, what? Insane. Absolutely insane.
How about the Pokemon War? You remember, like, because you got Lieutenant Surge and how he used to serve in the war of like Pokemon. So, you know, maybe there's something going on there. They never even talked about the Pokemon War in actual lore. I don't think they've ever did.
Not really. I mean, like way later, I remember they had the one movie with like I'm forget he's a Smash Bros character. Lucario. Yeah, when they had the movie with him, there was like ancient, like medieval times, like Pokemon War. But that was really it.
Oh, the way they would sound it, because I remember it was like, I think it was in the original game, like where they saw the most evidence, because it's like you had Lieutenant Surge and they had like some little inklings like why there are no fathers in the initial village that you're in. So it's like maybe they went off into the war, they died off, and maybe that's what happened. I can see that being a cool theory, but I'm not a Pokemon like straight up nerd, so I don't know if there's actually like a whole confirmed like Bible, like a Pokemon Bible that says like in 1945 we got.
That's what the unknowns are for.
Hop in the comments and educate us. Please let us know about Pokemon. Tell us about the war. Let us know about the hard times. Let us know what it's connected to.
Yeah, they need to make a movie, the Great Pokemon War. How they did Detective Pikachu with that live action style.
But he has like the war paint on his face and a helmet on.
Bro, imagine D-Day, but they're surfing on Laprases, and then it's just bombs coming down.
Pick up.
You basically got Conquer from Xbox, bro.
Yeah, that would be fucking badass. Bro, imagine Laprases coming up, then you got Entei up in the up in the mountains coming down to storm the main front, and then you got a bunch of like different you got Charizards in the air. like just flying
the enemy
down,
stealing all our Vaporeons.
Bro, holy oh, that would be fire, bro. There's probably some awesome fanfic about that, the Pokemon Wars. Like World War II, but just Pokemon.
The Pokemon Wars.
Back in the day, they used the Dark Balls.
They had to create the Master Ball. They had to create that during that time.
And then PETA came along, and they had to get rid of the Dark Balls.
Yo, Snorlaxes would have been great defensive units. That would be pretty crazy. Use them as shields.
Yeah, motherfuckers just have to sit on you.
Yeah, launch them like nuclear bombs, bro. Just have a bunch of Snorlaxes, and then right when it's ready, release them from the Pokeball.
Just a cataclysmic body slam. Absolutely. That's what we love to see.
That would be awesome.
How big is a Snorlax?
Pretty big. They're huge, bro.
Like what, over 7 feet?
Yeah, definitely over 7 feet.
10 feet?
I don't know. Okay, now you want me to sack feet. As big as this room that
Listen,
we in right now.
I just want to know, is it better than a cannonball?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They're as big as this room. I would say Snorlax is as big as this room, maybe even bigger.
Yeah, what's launching that?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what I mean. You have them in the Pokeball, and then right when it's ready, release, and then they're falling.
I didn't like where your hand was for that, where you released it. I wasn't a fan of that at all.
You release like you're releasing a bomb.
No, this is all I see on mine. You release. So I was like, whoa, okay, I got it.
You
like,
did kind of hump. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm like, all right, yeah.
You pump it
louder. Not play.
You release some like bombs, like the atomic bomb, like Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. That's how Mewtwo was created: human sperm and Mew.
What?
The perfect combination.
What?
He really was half human. That's why he could speak so eloquently.
Is that your theory? Okay, we all creating theories now.
Listen, if Mac was the only kid and he was in an abandoned building and all the imaginary friends never existed, can be a theory, then this can.
Oh, absolutely. Anything can be a theory.
I'm thinking of your theory. Your theory is nasty. Your theory is so fucking nasty. A Mew combined with the...
I need you to stop thinking about that.
Why do you think he was so tall?
I need you to stop.
He looked like the doctor, didn't he?
He did, I guess.
Daddy.
Good Lord. Oh, God. Ew.
So last one I got, and I'll give this one like a 3 out of 5, is that this person theorized. So basically, you know how in Kids Next Door, father has it's not necessarily his actual physical appearance, that black.
It's a suit.
Yeah, it's like a suit. So their theory is that they said that the suit is basically kind of like their version of like a symbiote almost, but it is only brought out of rage.
Yeah.
And that's why number 1 and his dad don't have it, because technically they're all from the same family. And what was that movie? Operation Zero?
Operation Zero.
So in that movie, we find out they're all family. But you see that only grandfather and father have it, but not number one, his dad. But they also said in the theory, they were like, in theory, like number one could, like bring out that part of him. But because his dad, taught him good values, how to be a good kid and whatnot, that he doesn't have that innate like darkness with him. But when you like awaken the darkness, they said that's when the suit comes out. Because we've also seen clips where our father, he doesn't have the suit on at all.
Yeah, when he's in the presence of grandfather, he's really not strong at all. Like, he's not angry, he's fearful, so he just kind of cowers.
So he doesn't have that on. You guys remember that one line? He was like, "You big
jerk! Now you made me angry. Very, very angry." Yeah, forget it. That was the most badass scene. Just cut short in like 2 seconds. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, that beat me at work sometimes, though. Just forget it.
Yeah, forget it.
Yeah. But that one I actually like because I was like, I never really gave that much thought towards it, but I was like, that is a good question. Like, what actually is it? So they were saying it, kind of like a symbiote or just like, or it might be like a family curse is what it is. But again, that kind of goes hand in hand. I would feel like the curse is that they have this darkness, and if they awake it, then it takes over their body kind of thing.
See, I always thought it was like the ultimate embodiment of adult.
Oh, okay,
because
yeah,
that whole thing where you turn adult and then you forget your memories and blah, blah, blah. But father did not want the kids to be kids, which is why his, little demon children were always matched up and they were basically robotic, like shifting into each other, which was weird.
Yeah. Man, cartoon theories, though.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad.
All of them are shit. I'm playing.
Listen, the Mrs. Puff theory, go check that out.
Adventure Time theory confirmed, remember?
Yeah, like that. The only theory I liked from back in the day was and this was at the time, it was like only 3 seasons of Adventure Time was the whole world took place in a post-apocalyptic war. And in the beginning of Adventure Time, you saw like little hidden signs, like some people in business suits, some people like the phone technology, like there was like other remnants of like a civilian lifestyle. And eventually that became like straight up confirmed. Like there was a war, and there were certain characters that survived through that war. Like Ice King and Marceline. Like I haven't watched the whole series, but I've seen like clips and shit. And I was like, damn, they actually just made it true. Because I remember back in the day when I was like young and getting into it, it was only just a theory, and they brought it to real life. I was like, you know what? That's really fucking cool. I like that. But all these other theories, all their death is like everything is death. Yeah, Rugrats, Angelica's the only remaining child. Every other kid's dead.
Schizophrenia.
Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, you just want to make this show like not matter. Like, that's 99% of these theories.
Mental disease is real. We get it.
It's like, wow. It's like great. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, some of those theories that y'all brought up was pretty good. Like, a lot of them theories was good, but especially when they get just shit on by the creator. It's like, man, you can't let's have a little bit of fun, man. just have
shut that shit down.
Like, man, shut up. That ain't real. I'm great. I say so.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you have any good cartoon theories. We'll read them out loud. We'll research them. We'll see the validity of it.
And it's probably gonna be bullshit.
Yeah. Unless it's about the Pokemon War.
Yes, or Ash's coma theory.
Oh, I did hear about that.
See what I mean, bro?
Part human.
Every one of these theories were just like, yeah. Nah.
It sounded good. Nah.
That's probably the theory that like spawned the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Probably.
Probably. I was about to say, is that the story Ash's in the
Yeah. No, not even close.
What if Adventure Time didn't have a great war, but because of the theories, that's how they took the show?
Oh, wow. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Pokemon is just a man living in a back alley in New York that's surrounded by cats and dogs that is on acid.
Ash was turned to stone originally. This is all a dream.
All the future shows don't matter.
Ash has a dream.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yugi's imagination.
Yes. There's no such thing as dual monsters.
When grandfather was in a TV, he died.
Slade is Robin's father. Yes. That's what 99% of these theories are.
What type of father's beating their kid after death? What the? Zeus Kratos ass.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts?
Keep your theories to yourselves. Unless it's good.
Shout out mental illness.
And the Bible.
Yeah, do your research. Do your research. Yeah, and
do your homework.
Yeah, do the homework, please. Please do the homework. Well, thank y'all so much for listening and watching. We appreciate y'all so very much. Until next time, peace out, members.
Peace out, man.
It's all a dream.
Remember When is a Sweet Recording production. Check them out at suiterecording.com.
Intro and outro created by our very own Johnny.
Subscribe, listen, and remember to review wherever you are on social media. Thanks for listening.